I was like, are we good? Are we good? We're good. I think, do I have something on my glasses or is it something on my screen? I can't tell. I think it's something on my screen. Hello, friends. It's Friday. I feel like I say this every week. Oh, it's Friday. We made it. And at least I had my screens correct here today. Hello, Donna Dunn. Hello, and Kristen Ashog. I think it's Ashog in Norway. Nice to see you. Oh, I see some new friends here that I haven't seen before. I think Virginia Folsom says, first time watching live. Thank you so much for joining me. Good morning, Michael. Hello, Tracy, Mindy, and Barbara, my friends who I see usually every week. And Jenny G, hello. Nice to see you. Yes, I love our meeting up on Fridays too. Good morning, Cynthia B. Nice to see you all. I'm really excited today because we're kind of in the middle of some releases that are happening next week. And so today's my day where I'm going to show you something that's been out for a little bit. It's part of Gina's latest kit that is sold out, but I know a lot of you guys have the kit. So maybe you haven't pulled out this product and you want to create with it this weekend, and I'll give you some inspiration. But the greatest thing about this product is that it's going to be available next Tuesday in Gina's new release as a one-off product. So maybe you didn't want to get the whole kit, but you love the stencil that I'm using today and you want to pick it up. Well, it's going to be in the store on Tuesday. So I thought I would give it a go today, and I haven't had a chance to play with it this month, so I'm really excited. How is everyone doing today? Did you guys have a good week? Are you excited for the weekend? I certainly am, because I have our With Love event with SCT Magazine tomorrow. I am teaching bright and early at 8:30 a.m. So today's a glasses, hair up, get stuff done kind of day, because tomorrow I'm in teaching mode. Have to kick my family out of the house very early at 8 o'clock. So it's gonna be fun. Let's see, Virginia says, I have this kit. Awesome. That's awesome, Virginia. And Mindy and Virginia must know each other, so that's nice. I'm glad you got out of work today, Mindy. Yes, Jenny just reiterated what I said. For those of you that don't have the kit but like what I'm doing today, this product will be released on Tuesday, and so that's why I wanted to show it to you. So you will bookmark the tab. Everything that I used today is going to be in the video description below. So click the More button and you'll see a full supply list. If you like visuals better, I have linked my blog, a blog post where you can see all the little thumbnails for what I'm sharing today. So there's one thing that I need to pull up because there's something exciting that's happening over at SCT Magazine. And if you don't know, I work for SCT Magazine, love them. I love Catherine. I say them, I'm part of them, but love Catherine and everything she puts out. But there is one thing that I wanted to show you. Here it is. So Let's Stamp Together is our card making kit. It is a bi-monthly kit subscription, and it is now up for renewals and new subscriptions. So I put the link to Let's Stamp Together in my supply list. That's not an affiliate link. I don't get affiliate sales from SCT Magazine. It's just because I believe in our products and I'm really passionate about what we do with our partners. So if you don't know, every kit combines products created from a different partner. And let me just show you. So let me go down to my down cam. I don't know if Catherine's here. Yes, I'm excited for With Love tomorrow. Hey, Jen, nice to see you. I'm so excited for With Love tomorrow. I'm ready to go. Oh, getting too close, getting too close. Okay, so Let's Stamp Together. Let me just show you. So this is part of the kit that I'm using today, and I linked it. It's from Gina's May kit last year, I believe. This is designed by Gina K Designs. You got a 4x6 stamp set. It's really cute. It's fruits. You got a stencil. You got a die set and another stencil that we're using today that I put aside. That's right here. And I needed kind of like a basket weave stencil. And when I remembered this kit, I pulled out this stencil. Now, this is the greatest thing about Gina our Let's Stamp Together kits is that they have such versatile products. You can use this for so many things. You can create the cards that Gina creates. So each month, not only do you get a kit, but you also get a live class with whoever's instructing for the company. So of course, Gina's going to instruct her cards for Gina K Designs. You might get owners like Taylor from Tailored Expressions. She teaches her Let's Stamp Togethers. Last night, Michelle from Pink and Maine taught her class, and look at Michelle's kit. So Michelle's kit has hearts, lots of hearts. So you get a stencil that has 4 different stencils here. You get a 4x6 stamp and all these dies. And of course, I haven't put my dies on the back here yet, but the dies are pink because Pink and Maine. But look at this amazing stamp. So how many of you guys were in the class last night? It was so good. And I thought Michelle's cards were so cute, and they weren't typical like red and pink color schemes, which I thought was really cool. I know Mindy was there. Yes, and that's another thing. Mindy, thanks for bringing that up. Mindy Egan creates a video after every Let's Stamp Together class comes out. So 2 weeks after our classes, Mindy creates a video, and you can go to the SCT channel right now and look at all of Mindy's videos to see what these kits are all about. They're really good. They're super affordable. And in today's live, Catherine has been so generous that she wanted to give away the January kit. So our Let's Stamp Together from Pink and Maine is up for giveaway today just for leaving a comment, and I will choose a winner at the end of today's live. But you guys go and check this out because you can get a full year of these kits at a really amazing price. They are so good. I'm going to be using the stencil from this one today. I can't wait to use Michelle's Pink and Maine kit. They're so good. So Let's Stamp Together, I fully endorse. If you're a scrapbooker and you're over on the SCT site, go over to Let's Create Together too, because our scrapbooking subscription is also up for renewal, and I teach all of those classes. Hey Ingrid, it is a beautiful kit, Jackie. Yes, okay. So let me show you what else I'm creating with today. I'm grabbing, and this is the product that was in Gina's latest kit. This is the double Peony. I love this one. So you get 4 stencils, and they are numbered. I just have to make sure I have them right here. So you get 1 and 2, and you can see how those line up. Really pretty. It's really bold, really bold. There's 4 that does all the highlights, and here's 3 that does all the leaves. Hard to see. There we go. 3 that does all the leaves. Okay. Hey, Tanita Clark. Thank you for coming on today. Yes, Catherine is so generous. If you don't know her in real life, she's like Oprah. That's what we say. In all the events, she just like wants to give it away, give it away. And so she's wonderful. And when she said last night, you know, I told her that I was working with one of the stencils from Let's Stamp Together. She was like, why don't you just give one away? Give away a January one. I was like, wow, that's amazing. SCT is so generous, says Diane. Yes. I know. Yes, Virginia. See, aren't you glad you came in today? Connie says, hello from sunny Chicago. You're my neighbor. Connie, I'm on the south side. Well, south suburbs, I should say. South suburbs. So, okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to show you my playtime, and let's see if we can get it the same today. So let me go down to the down screen. And this might be a little bit bright for these yellows. So I'm gonna lower my lights just a tad, because I think lights and yellows, they don't like each other. So let me know what you guys think, if you can see the detail on those yellows. Okay, so here's my playtime fun. I used the double Peony stencil. I used the stencil from Let's Stamp Together and the brand new Lisa Horton Crafts metallic pigment inks that I just picked up from my local store yesterday. No joke, I went there for some cardstock that I needed for a kit, and these were laying there, and I really wanted to try them out, and I just grabbed 2. So like if you want to try something out, you're not going to buy the whole line, right? So I just grabbed 2, and I just had to use them today because they're so fun, you guys. So I hope you can see this. Thank you for the hearts. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some hearts on this video. How many people are watching? 38. That's awesome. Okay, so look at the sheen on that. So I would call this a shimmer. Okay, that's a good angle. Can you guys see that angle? There we go. There's the shimmer. Do you see that? It is so pretty. And they're really, really easy to use. Now, pigment inks. I'm going to be using some of Gina K inks too. I'm going to be using sweet corn for the yellow and jelly bean green to add some green to those leaves because this verdigris is more of a teal. Roberta says, oh my gosh, you will love them. I just did a dragon with them. Oh, that's cool. Yes. Barbara says, Catherine has a very generous heart. She does. Yes. Roberta says, I wanted to do the one you just showed, Let's Stamp Together. Yes, it is Let's Stamp Together, Roberta, now up for subscription and renewals. So if you've been a subscriber and you didn't renew, you can go renew or start a new subscription. So we're going to be using different media today. I'm pushing myself outside of my box a little bit, trying some pigment inks, and I'll let you know right now, these are my first pigment inks that I own. Isn't that crazy? So let's get right to it. I'm going to grab a piece of A2 white cardstock and my waffle flower grip mat, and we're going to start by just starting with this flower. Jennifer says she loves the titanium. I have, what else did I get? I got bronze and titanium. So those are the 4 that I got, and maybe today I'll go back and buy the rest from my local store. I linked the entire suite of metallic inks in my video description below so that you can see all of the colors. So there's a link for all of the colors, or there's a link just for these 2 colors that I'm going to use today. So I try to like make it easy for you guys to find it all. Okay, so I'm going to place my stencil. If you're starting with an A2, you know, these, now I like it like this, not like that. Make sure it's the right way around, first of all. But literally, if you decide to flip it and do it the opposite way, just flip all your stencils and it'll be fine. So this says double peony 1 right here. Tracy says, oh, you're gonna love. I know, you guys, I'm discovering things and trying new things right along with you guys. I haven't done it all. I haven't. Let's see. Jenny says, Megan, do they ever sell the LST kits at a later date? Yes. So I linked the Gina K Designs LST kit, the one that I'm using today, because if we have any left after the subscriptions have gone out, then we will sell them. And Jenny, right now we have December's, the Concord and Ninth class that I did. We have Gina's that I'm using today with the fruits. So if you go to the Let's Stamp Together link, it's like the general kit link, and you click the button at the top that says purchase a Let's Stamp Together subscription, you can either start a subscription there or find all of the past kits that are up for sale. And I want to say there's like 6 or 7 of them that are up for sale. So please check those out. I know Catherine would love to get those out of the warehouse so that she has more room, especially since we're shipping all the things this month for the card event and stuff like that. Okay, Terry, hello Terry Norris from Georgia. Okay, no, don't worry Terry, we're just starting. I was just showing my play card. So I'm gonna put it here just so I remember what I did. Okay, I'm starting with the Coastline metallic pigment ink. Okay, now pigment inks are definitely a different animal. Look at that. It's a mix between, it's a pigment ink, so it's almost like paint sitting on top of the paper. It takes longer to dry, okay, so just be aware of that. You don't want to go and smush it and smudge it right away. But I want my first layer to be light, so I'm really going to tap off on this one. If you go in and you don't tap off, you are going to get some splotchiness. But you can go back and you can grab your ink that you've tapped here. So remember, you can always go back to this first layer too. So if you're using the same color, like I am here, and I'm doing a lighter layer, and then I'm going to use a darker layer for stencil number 2. If I don't like how much contrast there is, I can always go back to layer number 1 and add a little bit more color. And I actually did that on my practice card because I just didn't like how dark the second layer was compared to the first. Yes, Jen, this is a great question. So Jen asked, am I using my die brush or is it a new brush? I think I can add that to broadcast. Oh yeah, there we go. Let me move that down a little bit. So Jen's asking, am I using my die brush or is it a new brush? And I need to figure out how to change the colors on those. This is a brush that I grabbed just for my pigment ink. So I'm starting a new range of brushes here just for pigment ink. So I'll have one per color family, my greens, my blues, my yellows, that sort of thing, but I'm keeping them separate. Now my Gina K inks are behind me with the clips on. I have those linked below so you can see what those are like with the clips, but these ones I don't. And what I'm thinking of doing is just making a little label here that says pigment green, just so I know if it's sitting around and I pick it up, I know it's a pigment ink, okay? Now, there aren't any markers for an A2 card on these, and that's probably because Gina wanted you to be able to put it on whatever size card you wanted to. But they line up so beautifully. Yes, it says with Lisa's metallic inks, don't mix your brushes with other ink brushes, says Roberta. Okay, that's a good tip, Roberta. And I mean, if you want to invest in some pigment inks, that's something to think about too. You might want to get a few more brushes. I know I always save brushes from events. If I get brushes for an event like Crop and Create at SCT, that's what these brushes are from. I kind of put them aside. Yep, Tracy says pigment needs its own things. Yes, and Tracy says the benefits of taking longer to dry means you can blend it in longer. That's a very good point, Tracy. I'm still going to tap off on this a little bit because I did get a little bit of a heavy spot there. Ooh, got some heavy spots there too because I didn't tap off, and that's what happens. But let's just see how I do this. And I might, I might try to blend it in some more or go back and change it. I don't know, or it might look really good. Who knows? This is live. This is live crafting. You just kind of have to decide what you think looks right. Painted my nails for the With Love event. Nice Valentine's-y pink. I'm ready to go. Barbara said, good to label all of our millions of brushes we have acquired by now in our blending careers. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know a lot of you guys have brushes from multiple companies for multiple things too. I just have Gina's brushes, their detail, and Gina's mini, her regular, and her detail. So I have them all. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Yeah, the blues are so pretty, Carrie. And most people would say peonies aren't blue, which I'm like, that's fine. But in my happy little Friday afternoon world, they can be blue. So what I'm going to do is go back to stencil number 1 and line that up and just add a tiny bit more. And remember in my last live, I told you guys that it's easier to place a stencil down if you hold both sides up. And then once you get it in place, then you let it go. The beauty of this stencil is that because the edges line up the same, you don't need those registration marks. It's not hard to line up. So I love that about this one. I love when Gina makes it easy, especially because this peony takes up such a large space on your card that you don't really need much more besides a beautiful sentiment, right? So it's a really great way to make an easy card. And one of my ideas for this was to get the other metallic inks, or you could do this with any of your Gina K inks that you have on hand too. Oh, see, that's really pretty. I like that. Do you see how there's a little bit less contrast between the two blue layers there? That's perfect and exactly what I wanted. What was I saying? Gina makes it really easy with her flowers. And I lost my train of thought. That's okay. Barbara says, I noticed your nails, Megan, very pretty. Don't mess them up for tomorrow. I know. So I do use gloves to do the dishes, but I do have a puppy and I do have children. So yes, Barbara says that's your job tonight, Simon, to do the dishes or reservations. Maybe takeout, actually. Maybe it's Thai takeout tonight. Oh, is it? No, it's not pizza night tonight. I told you no for that. I know. Simon and I both have a bit of a cold, maybe the flu. He might have the flu. I don't know. But we were both saying, I was like, I do not want pizza. Usually Fridays are our pizza night, and I was like, I don't want pizza tonight. I need something warm. I actually have soup in the Instant Pot right now that I started at 8 a.m. this morning, and it's just sitting on warm in the Instant Pot. So after this, I'm gonna go finish my soup. I'm excited. Cynthia B says, blue is my jam. Love your blue flowers. Connie says, love it. Yeah, the blues are beautiful. And then not only is it beautiful in blue, but you have this metallic shimmer that's just perfect in the light. Okay, so when you line up the leaves, they fit right in between the flowers. And I just kind of look at the base and make sure it's straight against my card, because I knew that the base was straight on my flowers too. So you just want to make sure they fit nicely in between the flower petals. So watch what I'm going to do here, you guys. I'm going to start off with dye ink. If you're mixing dye and pigment inks, you want to start off with your dye ink first. Okay, so I'm using my dye brush. I can tell these are my dye ones because they have my clips. These are the Gina K brushes. And I'm using Jelly Bean Green, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous green from Gina. And I'm adding that lovely Jelly Bean Green first. I have been stenciling so much in the last couple weeks because I have a class that I'm teaching at Crop and Create Markham that is very stencil heavy. So I was getting that ready. I don't know if any of you guys are joining me for that. I'm really excited about it. If so, there is a bundle that I'm creating for Concord's release on Sunday. So watch that video to come out. That is stencil heavy. What else? And there's an exclusive that I have in our Let's Create Together kit. That's a stencil too. So I was stenciling some little pretty elements last night. It's just been stenciling fun. Yeah, Virginia says she uses Jelly Bean Green all the time. I love it. I just think it's such a pretty, it's more of a yellowy green, and that's what I love. A lot of times I'll reach for the more blue greens, and you need to switch it up sometimes. Mindy has 3 Instant Pots. Mindy, how in the world can you use 3 Instant Pots? Please explain. Just email me later. Just DM me. We'll have a discussion about Instant Pots. I love my Instant Pot. I use it a lot. I do. Okay, because I cook a lot and it's just simple, especially on soccer nights, stuff like that. Oh, I wish you could travel too, Tracy. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to my metallic ink. So this Verdigris color is where I really see the shine. I see it more on this one. Do you see that right there? Just look at the leaves. I see it more on this one than I do on the blue. And I just think it's so pretty. So here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to add a little bit of a highlight. Okay, so I'm just going to take my Verdigris, or Verdigris, I guess, since it's French. And I'm going to add that color along the edges, the top edges of the leaves. So when you're blending, you don't always have to blend the same amount on every piece of your image, right? It's all about shading. So it's always a good idea to get the first layer down as like a solid, even layer. And then play with it from there. Add different colors. See what happens. It's kind of fun when you start layering different colors in your stencils. That's something I'm doing in my class, for my in-person class for Markham next month. And I really love when people realize that they can use 2 different colors in their stencil and just the difference that it makes. It makes it so gorgeous. Oh, Roberta says easy to use 3 at a time when batch cooking. Yes, I do have to agree that if I'm making like brown rice in my Instant Pot and I don't have, you know, the time to do something else in the Instant Pot, it's a little annoying. But I need a bigger kitchen before I buy two. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Wait for this reveal. It's so pretty. What is my favorite size ink, cubes or full size? Well, that's a tricky question because I see the value in both. Look, do you see how it fades out to that lighter green? It's just so pretty. I love it. So now we're going to use this highlight. This is the vein of the leaf, and we're going to use the Verdigris again. That's a great question for everybody, and everybody answer. Now, Virginia, these are the metallic pigment inks, not the interference, but I have seen the interference at Creativation, and they are gorgeous. I love how they look different on black cardstock versus white. So these are a little bit different, but Lisa Horton is definitely making some really innovative inks. Really fun. I love ink cubes for certain things. Like, so the ink cubes that I have are all of Gina's, and I have all of the Better Press ink cubes. So I'm just lining up my leaf veins here. And then I have full-size inks for all of my Concord and 9 things, and I also have their cubes as well. If you're going to be traveling with them, cubes are definitely the way to go because I put them in a zippered bag and I know that they're safe. If I have to travel with my big pads, like I'll have to for Concord and 9th next month, I will have to use rubber bands and make sure those babies stay in place. Because if you don't use rubber bands, they're going to come open in your luggage and it's a little bit scary. So that's why I like ink cubes. They're generally a bit safer to travel with or go to a crop with. Oh, and look what I did there. I didn't cover that up. That's okay. We'll fix it. Cover up your holes. I forgot about my little holes, the center ones. But I also think cubes are really good for little things like sentiments. Sometimes when you have your Misty door open and you go to stamp with a big cube, it's like sometimes I'll drop it. But I'm clumsy, and probably you guys are not as clumsy as me. So that's just me. I do like a small cube for certain things. Ink blending, I love to have the big cubes for that. Yes, Mindy, you should get the rest of them. These are gorgeous colors. Roberta says I need to make this card on a black card, or a navy blue would be cool too, maybe. And Jen says the interference blend really well too. Look, isn't that gorgeous? I mean, we're only a few minutes in and we almost have a card made, you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to clean this off. I'm just going to grab a baby wipe. Excuse the noise. I'm going to cover up my card just so it doesn't get anything on it and wipe this up because I'm going to use some pops of color from scrapbook.com next. And I think I linked it. I don't know if I did. Hopefully I did. I really like pops of color for this sort of thing. Actually, you know what? Before I do the pops of color, I'm going to do my outside edge because once that pops of color is on, I don't want to touch anything to it because it'll smudge, it'll smear. Jen says, I should have been using a cube for sentiments last night. I wouldn't have been such an inky mess. Absolutely. I find cubes are much better for small sentiments than the big pads. It's harder. They're just easier to hold. And then also the other thing is cubes are much less expensive. And if you want to try out a set of inks, maybe you are new to Gina K and, you know, buying new ink, it's not cheap. And you want to try 10 different colors. Well, you can get you can get 10 cubes for about 35 bucks. I think they're like 3 something a piece. And then you're just making sure that you like them before you invest in the bigger ones, right? So there's lots of reasons to buy a cube. Oh yes, Virginia, the new ones are gorgeous. And I actually started out making this card with Gina's new, is it sky blue? The blue one, the brand new blue one, and it was gorgeous. And you can use that one to create exactly this card. Just do it darker and lighter. Okay, so now we're going to sweet corn. And this is one of my favorite techniques. I know I've shown it to you guys before with a large stencil, but instead of worrying about touching your flowers, we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to take our sweet corn and we are going to blend our basket weave, or I think I would call this a basket weave. Now this is the one from the Gina K Designs May Let's Stamp Together kit, which I have linked in the video description. I love this stencil. I think it's so pretty. It fits really well with her kit, which is all fruit. And so that's why she did it. She has a heart one and this one. So all I'm doing is running my brush all the way up to where the flower starts, because I don't want to mix the blue with that yellow. I'm literally just kind of touching it to where that flower starts. Yes, Gina's stencils are so beautiful. And I think her daughter, Alicia, designs these big flowers, and she does such a good job. She's very talented. Just seeing what other things I missed. Yeah, Tracy made a really good point. Tracy buys the cube and the re-inker. That's another really good point, Tracy. The cubes will run out of ink much faster than your pads. I mean, just the amount of ink in them is much less. And so it is a good idea to grab the re-inker. And then if she loves them, then she'll buy the full-size cube. So then she can use the small cube for her sentiments, the big cube for her blending, the big pad, I should say, for her blending. Now over here, there's just some small areas between the leaves. So I'm just going to touch my brush to these areas here just to get a little hint of that pattern on the side. I also like to have things darker around the edges and fade out to the center. So you can go back and just run your brush along the edge to get that more saturated yellow color there. I feel like you guys are just warming me up for With Love tomorrow, because I have a lot of stenciling in With Love too. But look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And I really love how it fades out to that white around the flowers. It almost gives them like a glow, right? So don't be afraid to stencil your hero image first and then add something around the outside. It's totally doable. The most important thing is that you tap off, right? So your ink isn't too crazy saturated, and just blend up to where your hero image starts, right? Okay, so hopefully you guys will give that little technique a try. Now I can put my little, I guess you call them flower centers, your little, I don't know the right terminology for them, but I'm going to grab my pops of color, and where is my, oh, it might be in the sink still. I have a spatula in the sink. I cleaned it off. So after you do use any of these kinds of mediums, you want to wash them off. Use a baby wipe if you're not at a sink right away. But all I'm going to do is just do a little line right next to the openings on the stencil. I'm missing the new comments. Hold on, I have to click down. Oh, there's so many. Yes, Marianne, I can't wait for my class tomorrow too. It's going to be so much fun, and I hope you guys will join me with a coffee. I'm going to do what Kathy does and like finish a card and take a drink of coffee to reward myself. That's what I'm going to do. It is beautiful texture, isn't it? Ink cubes don't aggregate my hands. That's a really good point, Roberta. Yes, yes, for your multiple dystrophy. Yep. The colors give a vintage vibe. So Barbara, you know what I thought of, and I almost texted my mom. If you guys know my mom, she's not on my lives. I don't know why, but she wasn't even in my meet and greet the other night. I had to give her some love for that one, but I love my mom. My grandma used to have a lot of different tablecloths. So we usually had a tablecloth on my grandma's table, and then she would have the plastic tablecloth over it so that like us kids didn't spill anything on our tablecloths. And I'm pretty positive, Barbara, that she had a tablecloth that looked very similar to this, that had the blue flowers with the green leaves and the yellow, some kind of yellow pattern background. So yes, as soon as you said that, I was like, yes, Barbara is so right. This does, it reminds me of my grandma's tablecloth, and it's very vintagey. It's almost like a Davenport too. Like if you did these flowers in orange, that would be my grandmother's Davenport from 1984. And if you know what a Davenport is, you're old enough to know. Yes, Virginia, I use pops of color all the time like that, just as a little highlight. And it just gives it another bit of a metallic look. And it just looks really cool. It just elevates it. So let me show you guys. I just love how it catches the light. See the pops of color there in the light? And take a look at the shimmer on those leaves. You see that shimmer down there on the leaves? I love it. It's so pretty. I just think anybody would get this card in the mail and just go like this and say, wow, that's really cool how it shimmers and shines. Yes, but we're not done. We're not done there. So what I'm going to do is grab a splat box. I typically don't do this, but like I said, we're trying new things this year. We're going outside of our comfort zone. I think, Barbara, Hoosier is a cabinet. No, a Davenport is a sofa. Like, it's a sofa. I don't know, my grandma used to call her sofa the Davenport. A Hoosier is a cabinet. So that's a totally different thing. Let's see. Bonus card number 1 is such a smart use of leftovers, says Mindy. Yes, it is. Yes. Misty is talking about my with love class. Yes. Okay. Let me get this box and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm going to zoom out. I don't love the brown, but we gotta have a box here because I've done this a couple of times, you guys, without having a box on my desk, and I literally have gold splatter on my MacBook. It doesn't come off. That stuff is stuck on there. Yes, Virginia says she definitely remembers when the sofa was called a Davenport, 77. Yeah. I am splattering, Tracy. Are you proud of me? Yes, Barbara says class is at the crack of dawn for me tomorrow. Me too. It's okay. I'm on Central Time, so it's not horrible. It's not like my Pacific friends, but it's bad enough. It is bad enough. And I don't know where my brush went either. I bet it's out there, you know, with my other things. Okay, it's all right. We're going to figure it out. Let me grab a different brush. I have brushes in my cabinets right here, so we can grab another one. I'm going to grab this one. I like this kind of tip when I'm splattering. I know I've seen Kathy use a fan tip, which Tracy says she's so proud of me. I know, because if you guys haven't watched me before, you know that I don't often do this. So here's what I'm doing. I'm using my Spellbinders water spritzer, and I'm using this new watercolor mixing set. This is so cool from Spellbinders. It has pearl gold, pearl silver, and indigo. And I found that this pearl gold matches really well with sweet corn. And look, just watch. Just see that metallic shimmer? It is gorgeous, you guys. Now, if you're scared, which I kind of am right now because I'm using a different brush, just grab any piece of paper. Here, I'll use one of my practice cards because I did this twice and I think I messed up on this one. So I'm going to grab this one and just splatter a practice card first. Like, you can grab any piece of paper and just make sure that you have the right consistency with your paint. And I think I do. I think I'm happy with that. Do you see that? So you want those nice fine splatters. The great thing about this paint is that because it's water-based, it dries a little bit faster than something that's like pigment. So it soaks into the paper pretty quickly. And to make sure you really get that metallic shine, just give it that mix, because you want all those little itty bitty flakes to mix into the paint. So what I'm trying to do here is to splatter along the diagonal. So from the left top corner down to the right bottom. And I would say don't go crazy. Once you have a nice amount, then stop. If you decide you want to go back and add more, you can add more later. But look at that. That's really pretty, right? I like that. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. It's important not to put your hands all over it too. I know, be proud of me, you guys. I'm so proud of myself that I did the splatter thing too. And so I'm just going to clean off my brush quickly before I can actually put it in a tub of water. So if you don't have a sink in your crafty space, which I don't, this is a great way to do it. Just grab baby wipes, the non-alcohol based baby wipes, like mine are fragrance-free, sensitive baby wipes, and those are pretty safe. Okay, so here's my card front, but let's create a sentiment, okay? I'm gonna put that aside to dry. Really, really love all of the products that I chose to use today. Really excited about them. And like I said, I wasn't sent those Lisa Horton Crafts pigment inks. I just decided that I was going to try them out in my local store, and I'm really glad I did. And if you are local to me, so I know somebody here was in Chicago. Was it Cynthia? Were you here, Cynthia? I think it was Cynthia. My local store is One Paper Place, and they are in the south suburbs. And I love to support my local store because, like yesterday, I needed some cardstock that I didn't have, that I needed for a kit, and she had it. And sometimes they just come to your rescue when you need something, right? Okay, so here's my Misty. So this is the Friendly Wishes stamp set. So what do we want to do? I have a couple of card fronts here, so I might as well do Hello Friend, because I like to have cards that I can use for anything. Like, so if I'm sending out a package to one of my viewers or blog readers, then I like to always put a card in it. I could do thanks for being there for one of you guys, hello friend, or a big hello, or wishing you a happy day. That's the great thing about this stamp set. There's so many like multi-use sentiments in there. So let's grab a card, A2 card. Let's do wishing you a happy day. Oh, Roberta says she will be local to me in August. Are you moving here, Roberta? Or are you just coming to visit? Let's do wishing you a happy day and hello friend. Because I like the bolder sentiments. Oh, Missy says you can stamp with the metallic. Should we do that? We could, Missy. Let's do it. Now, they will probably have a little bit more drying time, but we'll try it. Hopefully I don't smudge. I'm just not good at being patient. Ask my husband, he knows. And he laughed. Okay, so I'm trying to get these straight. It doesn't really matter that much though, because I'm going to use the coordinating dies to cut those out. Yeah, Sandra says, wishing you a happy day. I like that one too. It's for anything. Yeah, it's a great sentiment set, Tracy. I linked it below, and I think it's at a really good price too. Really good price point. Okay, so why don't we do those in blue, since that's the main color. Oh, Jen says her dad's side of the family lives right by me. That's cool, Jen. When you come to visit, hit me up and we'll go have a coffee or a cocktail, whichever you prefer. It's according to what time of the day it is, right? What we do. Okay. If Michael's still in here, we still need to set up a date to have a coffee or a cocktail. Or both. We could have both. If you have brunch, you can have a cocktail and coffee at the same time. That's what I love about brunch. Okay. Hello, friend, and wishing you a happy day. Those do stamp well. Let me do a little bit more. Hello, friend. And I didn't prime my stamps. So, you know, what you can do is hello, Winston. He's making himself known. He's in his bed on the other side of the office. Oh, thanks, Mindy. Yeah, I really appreciate every thumbs up, every share. everything. I appreciate it all. Clicking on my links is always so appreciated. It just makes me, just makes me feel very nice. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this one because usually the second time you stamp, it's better. I haven't used these stamps before, so usually I would take an eraser and kind of just erase the gunk off of them. Okay, let's do that. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe off my stamps. Yes, Roberta, I would love that. Just send me a DM and let me know when you're going to be here. Hopefully I'll be here too. Okay, so now the tricky part, the trickiest part ever, is finding the right sentiment strip, the strip die for your sentiment. I love that Gina's sentiments have been coming with all of the dies, because when you have a background like this, you don't always want to, oh no, I didn't get that right. When you have a background like this, you don't always want to stamp your sentiment directly onto your background. Okay, so I have wishing you a happy day. I'm going to use my mint tape here. Thanks, Virginia, for giving me a thumbs up and for joining for the first time today. I really appreciate that. I have a brand new video up using the Spellbinders stitching die of the month that went up on Thursday, and I have 9 more videos coming featuring all of the clubs this month, and they are really good, you guys. So be sure to check that out. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss, and be sure to hit the bell notification because that will notify you when I have a new video or I go live. Okay, so there's my hello friend and wishing you a happy day. I am going to cut this down because I want to use my little Scout. I did dumbbell thrusters today. We don't need to pick up our big die cutting machine today. I'm going to save my arms the trouble. Yeah, Mindy says, I love the addition of the sentiment dies and the fact that you don't have to snip them apart. Absolutely. Yeah, Gina has very high quality products for sure. Barbara said, sounds like Simon has been roped into being your producer. Yeah, Winston has to be wherever Simon is. So that's why he's in here, Barbara, because Simon's working right here in the office and Winston is eating something. Don't, just make sure it's not a cable. Oh, it's my instructions for tomorrow's class. Perfect. So that stamped really well. Oh, I needed to focus. There we go. I love how small these are too. Do you want to get on camera? Let's see if we can, if you guys can see him. Come here, buddy. Oh gosh. Let me change to the camera. Okay, here's my, do you guys see how big he's getting? Who's that? Who is that? Look, I know. Yes. Yeah, you confused as to what's happening? He's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. He's a good boy though. Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay, hope you guys like that Winston, little Winston break. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one, and now I can't tell which card is from today and which one's from yesterday. I think this one's from today. That looks right. So you can do this down here at the bottom corner. And I was thinking that I was going to cut out this image, but when I look at it right now, I don't really know if I want to, because I just love seeing all of that pattern around the edge. Part of me thought that I could cut it out in an oval, but you would lose so much of that detail that I think I want to keep the entire front. So let's do that. I know, isn't he cute? He does pose well because he's a golden. And Virginia, Goldens, I don't know if you know Goldens very well, but they love attention. They absolutely love attention. So if he thinks that somebody is looking at him, then he is going to keep posing. That's how he is. Yes, and Jenny, we're a little bit worried because sometimes he's really stubborn and he doesn't want to come or go in his crate or whatever. So right now we can still pick him up and I told Simon, I was like, pretty much like in a couple weeks, we're not going to be able to pick him up anymore. And I'll never be able to get him to go where I want him to go. That's going to be the problem. Okay, so with smaller sentiments, what I like to do is cut those out 2 or 3 times. And my husband just opened the freezer and that was really loud. Okay, so I like to cut those out a couple of times to layer up. Where's my top? Lost it. I don't know, but she just opened the freezer and that was very loud. Okay, it's okay. All right. Yeah, oh, he was getting his ice bone, yes. And Roberta says sentiment on the inside. You could totally do that too. If you really liked having nothing on the front but your flowers, then that is definitely an option, Roberta. I agree with that. I do like that tiny little bit of extra blue there though. I feel like I'm going crazy. I know I just cut both of those out, but I only see one here. Oh my gosh, it's Friday. It's Friday. His stomach is much better, Lori. Thank you for asking. He is on an antibiotic. Oh, there it is. He's on an antibiotic right now, and all of his tests came back from Texas normal. So that ruled him out for any scary genetic things. So we are glad about that. Yeah, Goldens do love their people more than dogs, Mindy. Yeah, so Toby, our old Golden, we would meet friends on our walks, and instead of going to their dog, he would always go to the owner. And if you were female and young, he really loved you the most because he was a ladies' man. He really was. Now, because these are so small, the reason why I do this and I layer them up with multiple layers is because putting a strip of foam adhesive behind is really cumbersome. And so it's much easier to do this, just much easier. Now, the one thing we could do is trim down the edges just slightly, and I could see if I have a master layouts for that. Hey, Sai, can you grab a thing of paper for me over there? On the cube, it's Gina K paper right here on the left cube, and it's the blue one right there on the left. Yes, that one. Okay, so this is Gina's brand new blue sky cardstock, which I think would look really good with this. So we can try to layer one up and just see what we think. It's the beauty of having 2 here. I have a poo. That's so fun, Ingrid. Yes, there are some dogs that are just very people-centric. Did you lock him in the kitchen? Yeah. Oh, poor boy. Poor boy. But we do have baby gates all over the house now, which I thought I was done with after I had my son, but it's really fun. Have to walk through a baby gate everywhere we go. Okay, so here's our 2 cards. Let's see what we think, you guys. I do love the way that pops against the yellow. It just looks really, really pretty. Okay, so we have Master Layouts 2 and Master Layouts 14. And I think Master Layouts 14 has the larger, but still it does cut off quite a bit, right? Cuts off quite a bit. Now, Master Layouts 2, let's see here, because I really don't want to cut off that much. And I know that Master Layouts, there's probably one that I don't have that doesn't cut off as much. So see, that one cuts off about the same amount. So I think I'm just going to trim it. Although the reason why I always reach for my Master Layouts is because I like to have that finished edge. See the stitched edge on here? It just makes it look like $1,000,000 when you use those on your card. But let's use our Gina K trimmer. And I'm only going to cut off about 1/8 of an inch. Yes, the new colors are so pretty, Roberta. I love them, especially that yellow, that buttery yellow. So I'm going to cut off 1/8 of an inch total. So a 1/16 of an inch from all sides. And if you decide you like one side a little bit better and you want to cut off the whole 1/8 from one side, just do that. But this is how we're rolling today. Misty says her Bassets are above it all. Oh, that's so funny. They're just not into people. That's so funny to think that your dog wouldn't even get up from a nap when a person came over. It's so different from a golden. But look at that. Do you see how that really sets off that yellow there? I think that's perfect. And I love that nice thin layer of blue, nothing too much. So off camera, what I'll do is put these on a folded card base. I use Nina Solar White, a nice heavy weight. Let's cut that down and cut this one down. The rest of my day is going to be spent die cutting for the March Spellbinders clubs. So I was really excited to be to talk to Kim Kesty towards the fall last year, and she asked me if I was interested in creating cards for the Spellbinders website for their clubs. I was super excited about that because I love their clubs. And so when you open the website, you'll notice some of my cards that I'm going to be sharing on YouTube. So if you go to all the clubs, you'll see some of my cards. So that's really exciting. So I get to work on next month's clubs this weekend, just piecing some things together. But definitely check out my stitching video because I really love the stitching die this month, and it has such a great bang for your buck. It's like layers of, you can stitch them or not stitch them, of scalloped stitched layers and rectangles with little, I guess little stitching lines in them, I guess you would call them. They're really pretty. Okay, so there's those two. And then I'm just going to put my sentiment on. Now you could also put some rhinestones on these. I might do that off camera. Grab some of my Gina K rhinestones and do that. And I like having this sentiment just right down there at the bottom. I do not want to cover up my florals. You know, and that's the beauty of these small sentiments, is that you can put them down there. They fit just perfectly down there in that bottom corner. Yes, I do love Spellbinders. They have really great products and they're just fun to work with. Fun to work with. So you might, if you go to their website to look at their clubs, you might recognize some of those. Okay, and there's that one. So this is my practice one. This is mine from today. I really think they turned out great. I love those metallic inks. I love using them with Gina's gorgeous double peony stencil. And if you joined late, this double peony stencil was in the kit in January, and it will be available as a one-off on Tuesday. And so on Tuesday, I will go to YouTube and post the link to this product that you'll be able to find it in the shop. But you can always click the What's New category now in my video description and bookmark that tab, because you'll find it in the What's New. Aren't they pretty? I love them. I hope you guys loved everything I used. I went a bit out of my comfort zone with splattering with this watercolor mixing set, using pigment inks for the first time, especially blending with them. You know, it's just different. It's different blending with them, the way the color goes on the paper. Super fun. Okay, so let's see who is going to win. I was going to have Catherine choose who is going to win our Let's Stamp Together. So just a quick reminder, if you joined late, let me just show you this again. Let's Stamp Together is there's Catherine. There she is. Catherine, I think you should choose our winner. I think you should choose the person, like scroll up and choose somebody to win. So we are giving away the Let's Stamp Together from January, and it's called You Are Loved, and it's created by Pink and Maine. So you get this lovely insert card. You get a pink die set. Look at that frame. Isn't that adorable? And there's lots of hearts and there's a love sentiment. Then you get this lovely 4x6 stamp set and this 6x6 stencil. So lots of goodies here to play with. Plus you get an exclusive class with Michelle from Pink and Maine. Hello, Krista from California. Oh, don't worry, you can watch on replay. Yeah, it's 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. Central Time. So I also mentioned, and I think Barbara asked, the stencil that I used today is from this set, which is Sending You a Squeeze from Gina K Designs. So that's this stencil that I used today. And that one you can purchase in the Let's Stamp Together shop listing. You'll see all of our past kits that we still have some supplies for, and it's not many. If you scroll down there, so you kind of go to the subscription page in our shop, and there you will find all of the like the additional ones that we have left. I need to clean that stencil, so let's not put it away. Okay, Catherine, did you choose somebody? Is Catherine, are you listening? Oh, did I move my mic? Move my mic. Yeah, if the audio is having issues, just hit refresh and then hit live again. Hit refresh and live. No, Jen, for SCT, I don't have any affiliate links because I work for them, so I don't need that. But all the other links, they are affiliate links, but SCT is not. But I just wanted you to have them there to be able to get to what you needed to find really easily. So, oh, Roberta said it came back in. Yay, Virginia Folsom. It was your first time watching live and you won. Oh, that's amazing. And Catherine says, Virginia, if you have this kit, we will add another one to your subscription. That's amazing. Yeah, Ingrid said refreshing fixed it for me. I know sometimes YouTube does weird things. Kathy was in a live the other day and her audio was cutting out. And if you know Kathy, you know that she doesn't get tech issues. And so I was like, this isn't Kathy, this has to be YouTube. So I hit refresh and then you hit the live button again and it was absolutely fine. Congratulations, Virginia Folsom. I'm so glad you came on today. So please email me at Megan. That's Megan with an H and 2 N's. Let me show you how I spell my name. Megan at scrapbookandcards.com to claim your prize. But I'm so excited for you. All right, you guys. So let me just go back to my face. I'm going to be getting ready. Well, I'm already ready for With Love tomorrow. I can't wait to see a lot of you guys there. I'm like literally ready. Everything's at the corner of my desk, ready to go. I hope you enjoyed these cards today. And if you have this Gina K kit, dog, please don't. If you have this Gina K kit, you will pull out your stencils this weekend and, you know, try some new things with your stencils. And if you don't have the stencil and you love it, check for it on Tuesday night in the What's New category. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Yes, Catherine said, so exciting that it was your first live with Megan, Virginia. And Virginia said, I'm so excited I don't have any of the kits. That's exciting. You get to try them out, Virginia. Okay, so be sure to email me, Virginia, Megan at scrapbookandcards.com. And, oh, thanks, Jen. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the clicks from my links, you guys. It really is wonderful. Thank you. And Catherine is so generous. Everyone, thank Catherine. Say thank you. And be sure to check out Let's Stamp Together because it's really an amazing and extremely well-priced subscription. I will see you guys tomorrow in With Love if you're joining me. And if not, check for a new video up on Sunday for the Concord and 9th release. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Happy creating. Bye.